people ask every one of us is, whether you know it or not, gentlemen, sir, we would like to see Jesus. And if we're disciples of Jesus, that means we let people see Jesus and not us. Huh? There's a great story for that, huh? Story about a man captured in the Second World War. And after he was captured, he was thrown into a Japanese prisoner of war camp. And as he was done that, they treated him badly, but not as bad as they got a Japanese man who was a traitor. He was helping the Americans. And they threw him in the same cell as the American. The American they tortured, but not nearly as bad as the Japanese man. The Japanese man, they gave him no food, and they beat him and tortured him badly every day. And every day the guy would be thrown in the cell with the American would kneel down next to him and do his best he could to bring healing. He wouldn't eat his own food, and he gave his own food to the Japanese man every day. As best he could, he tried to heal the man. One day, the Japanese man was beaten so badly, he was thrown into the cell, and the American knew that tonight was going to be the last night on earth. He was going to die. So he knelt next to him because he was a man of evangelization. And he thought, I've shared everything with this man except for my love of Jesus. So I knelt down next to him, the man says, and as he knelt next to him, he says, you know, you're going to probably die tonight. But you don't have to be afraid. If you just surrender your life to Jesus now, you will live forever. You know what the Japanese man said to the American? He said, if this Jesus Christ is anything like you, I can't wait to meet him. Gentlemen, could they say that about us? Could your wives look at you and say, oh, honey, if Jesus Christ is anything like you, I can't wait to meet him? Could the people at your work say, oh, Mr. So-and-so, if Jesus Christ is anything like you, I can't wait to meet him? Can the people at your church say, oh, so-and-so, if Jesus is anything like you, I can't wait to meet him? To be a follower of Christ means that we no longer live. Jesus lives inside of us. So when people look in our eyes, they better not see us. They better see Jesus Christ. Do people see Jesus when they look in your eyes? Do your kids see Jesus when they look in your eyes? Does your wife see Jesus when they look at your eyes? So the first thing you do, before we can go now to the evangelization part, the first thing I got to ask you, gentlemen, are you truly a disciple of Jesus Christ? And if you're not, don't leave this place without determining to become one. You surrender your life to Jesus Christ. You sit at his feet every day. You sit there and develop his attitude. That means he's in charge of every part of your life. And you become him, which means you bring others to Jesus Christ just by your very presence. They can see Jesus in you. I'm reading a book right now called Unchristian. And it's a Protestant book, but it's a book about Christians and how many people outside the church, what they think about it. And it was asked kids from 19 years old to 29 years old about, what do you think Christianity? And the number one thing that these people who are out of the church altogether think about Christians is that they're the most unchristian people in the world. They're judgmental. They put people down. They sit there and they're hypocrites. And they go through this whole thing about what people who say they're followers of Christ are. But none of that should ever be true.